Hey guys, this is Dave with Method Media Group here, and today we are going to be unboxing the Phenyx Pro PTM-11. So hopefully I can get a decent angle here on this unit. This is from the folks over at Phenyx. So full disclosure on this, they did send me this to test out. Play drums for a band called Living Dark Days, and I've got a mono unit in my current rack that I'd like to compare against this. I do have 6 stereo units, the PTM-10 in our in-ear stage rig, which I'll be doing a video on that as well. Let's get in here and do a quick unboxing. So I did us the courtesy of taking some of the wrapping and all of that kind of stuff off of the products. And let me do this for us as well. So I'll just go through here the system here. So this operates in the 900 hertz range. Says up to 50 meters, 164 feet. That'll obviously be based on the surroundings. It's got a transmission of 50 hertz to 16,000 hertz frequency range. That's a big deal for me as a drummer. I need the low end, I need to hear the bass, I need to hear the kick. A lot of other units go down to 60 or 70, and you kind of get into that that spot where you might be missing some sound there. So yeah, I think that's probably the main things here. So let's open it up and see what we got inside here. Alright, so we have got a couple things in here. Like I said, I already opened this up to get rid of some of the crinkling so the sound would come across better. But you've got your cables, adapters for your antenna that are in here. There's looks like a 1/4 inch adapter or something. We'll get in there in a minute. Headphones, etc. Got your power block. And I can tell with this power block, so part of the reason I'm doing this is to provide some feedback. So I'll share this with the Phenyx, and for any other manufacturers that are out there, I'm sure there's a reason for this. But we are going to fit 6 of these into a power conditioner that typically need to plug in like this. But the prongs here are set horizontally, so I've got to put that in there, take up 2 or 3 spaces. So if it's possible to flip these things around to where I could plug it in like that, that would be great. I could line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many I have. I could line all those up together. I think this makes sense as a single unit on a wall, which I think is probably why it's done that way, because I can put one on the top and one on the bottom. But in practical use, you know, in stage cases, on the road, etc., definitely better to have it like that. So I have seen some of these that have a rotating type of ability that allow you to position it the way you want. So for what it's worth, if it's possible, there's some feedback. Got the antenna here. These are going to be the 2 rack ears. This is some of the plastic that I took off of the other units. So you've got a long ear system that would hook up box to one end, your antenna plate for the other side, and then this would be your short side for your rack unit here. And those kind of sandwiched together like this, and your unit would go in that gap. The belt piece here, so it's very light. I've already got the batteries in here because I wanted to see what the screen looked like. So let me actually take the plastic off this screen, so we can show you guys here in just a second what that looks like. Fairly lightweight. It's very, very simple compared to their PTM unit. What the PTM has is a power button on top. It's a push button power button, and there's a couple of menu buttons right along this section of the housing. So with this unit closes up. It's a nice flush front. Infrared port is right here, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you got your phones up top, which I like. I like that that's up top and not off to the side. And then you just got a single rotary dial here to turn it on. So you'll probably hear it click, and then you're on. So that's nice. I know a lot of people may not prefer that. Seems like just before you get to the off position, you kind of get a little bit of a fade on that display. It does, depending on the angle that you're holding it at, you can see it a little bit better. And it seems like it comes on pretty bright, and then it seems like it dims a little bit. I don't know if I can get this on camera. I'm going to try it here real quick. So let me see if I can do this for you guys. So, yep, and you can see it dim just a little bit right there. So anyway, but I like the blue and the black. It looks really good. Curious to see what that looks like in a stage setting. So pretty basic. You've got your volume knob here. You've got your infrared port. You've got a sync button, which I assume you push to map this to the receiver belt clip. Yep. So group button here, your channel, and then your power button. So let me hit this power button, see what this looks like in terms of the screen. So the display looks good. Power button also lights up. It's a nice nice touch. So all in all, I think it's a good looking display. Looks very very professional. The viewing angle looks good. If I tilt it back and forth just from where I'm at, I can see it almost 180 degrees. That's nice. One thing would be nice on here, and I'm sure it's just, you know, a cost prohibitive thing to have, would be a contrast knob. But I think it's pretty clean the way it is. The colors look good against one another. So that's what that looks like, and we will test this thing out and come back with some final feedback. All right, so here at Rehearsal, and this is my current unit, and there is my current wireless out. I don't have the power on. But you got that there, so I'm going to plug this in and get the review done. Alright, so I am back in the studio and want to recap on the PTM-11 by Phenyx Pro. So I gotta say, I really like the unit. I thought it was a great unit. My other unit, which I didn't really realize at the time, is I don't know if it's true stereo, but it is stereo. I have separation of my click on one side as a drummer, click on my left, and samples on the right. There are some songs with backing tracks that we've bounced to both, to a stereo, to left and right, and I get that in my current unit. The Phenyx Pro, I actually surprisingly liked it, the click on both sides. It was nice to be able to hear the click kind of in context of the samples. It's all on one track, so you get it in both ears. For me, it worked well. Some may not like that, and there's also a good chance, because I was trying to, you know, fit it into my current rig, that I didn't spend enough time trying to get things set up properly, right? I know that there's fades and things like that you can do on some of these units, and so I didn't get into that level of detail with it. So that'll be up for you guys to decide how you need to use it. But I will say, at their price point, which I think is somewhere around $170, $180 or something like that. I'll put a link to the site below. But at that price point, the sound was phenomenal. It was very, very, very clean. I felt like there was plenty of headroom. Again, over a rock / metal band with 3 detuned 7-string guitars and a 5-string bass, and my acoustic drums, all of our PA setup, the vocals, the backing tracks. I had no problems hearing the audio. In fact, there was times where I turned it down. On my mixer, the way I have it set up in my current rig, I do run tracks, the click to one channel. I have the tracks going to a second channel. I have my drums going to a third channel. So I can individually manipulate the click on my board. So I just have one channel. The click volume can go up and down. The track volume can go up and down. I felt like on the other unit that I have, the click and the tracks were almost all the way up on those channels. And I actually had to pull them down up to about half. You know, so probably somewhere in the range of like -10 dB, and then I would just use the belt pack to give my ears the volume that they need. So plenty of headroom, plenty loudness. And I will say the audio quality was much better. I use a set of Westone, currently I think I'm using the Westone AM30s if I'm not mistaken, for my in-ears. I've got some Ultimate Ear UE11s that they're on order, so I'll be interested in doing those. I'll probably do a review of those as well for you. But in my opinion, the sound quality was much better. This was a simple setup, channel 1, whatever first frequency. The other unit that I have, I've had to go through various bands. I think it's on 67 or something like that right now. Depending on the venue, I cannot get a clean tone. Even in our rehearsal room, there's a lot of static to the pack itself. There's a lot of static, there's a lot of interference. Another thing I don't like about the other pack that I have is that you have to push a button to turn the screen on. It's a backlit screen, and so if you don't push a button, you can't see that. On the Phenyx, it's a very clean, kind of a whitish, bluish, baby blue on black screen. It's very easy to see. It's very clean. You can easily see the outputs on both your left and right audio ends. Clearly the outs worked very well going back into the board. So I thought the unit was phenomenal. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a set of in-ears and you don't want to spend $700, $1,000 or whatever on one of these pro systems. You're a weekend warrior, you're a hobby band, you're trying to dabble into it, your drummer needs a click, doesn't want to be tethered, maybe you've got some samples that lead into the songs when you're walking out, what have you. I would highly recommend the PTM-11 by Phenyx Pro, and I'm really excited to start testing out the PTM-10s as well. We've got 6 of those for our band. We'll be running them through a Behringer X32, so I'll be making some videos about that. So again, shout out to Phenyx Pro for sponsoring this, for sending the unit for me to test out for them. It's a fantastic unit, can't recommend it enough. The links will be down below, my affiliate links down below. It'll help the channel, help me help you. Peace, stay for Method Media. We'll see you next time.